on its journey now for trial number 3. 5 horse field. Number 1, Costly Mistake, Fallon Tormey. Number 2, Let's Make Tracks for Mick Carbone. Number 3, I'm No Pumpkin for Daniel Jack. Number 4, Exciter for Hayden Gray. And number 5, Louis Risk for Taylor Yule. Mobile sets on its journey now for the 5 horse field. Hoping to get back in the draw for the mobiles. Number 2, Let's Make Tracks, and number 3, I'm No Pumpkin. Making the way into the front straight, they're about to be let go. Green lights on and they're off and pacing, coming out pretty well. On the middle of them was number 3, I'm No Pumpkin for Daniel Jackson. Raced away the lead now, and coming into second position behind that leader was Costly Mistake. Going back through back to pegs was Let's Make Tracks, also Exciter, and Louis Risk is back last of all, so they'll all find their positions pretty easily now. They're all in the near file, fairly spread out after a fast mobile start, making their way around that corner now, heading in the back straight, first of 2 times. And it's I'm No Pumpkin in front for Daniel Jack, hoping to lead all the way. It's about 10 metres in front of the rest of the field. Going into second position, still Costly Mistake, Fallon Tormey. Third is Let Make Tracks, Exciter is behind that, fall back to pegs, and last of all was Louis Risk. As they're making their way into the back straight, passing that mile marker, they're slowing down the tempo a little bit now, and passing the Lord's Raceway Bendigo sign, and it's still I'm No Pumpkin in front. As they slowed down that tempo a little bit now, allowing the other ones to catch up a little bit. Costly Mistake still in behind that leader. Another 5 metres off it was Let's Make Tracks. Exciter's behind it, and Louis Risk is still back last of all. No moves have been made yet, so making their way around that corner now, heading in the front straight. They're going to get their bell for the 2150 here for trial number 3. Lord's Raceway Bendigo, and it's still I'm No Pumpkin. Trained by Mary Jane Misford, driven by Daniel Jack. Costly Mistake, trained by Mark Thompson, driven by Alan Tormey. Let's Make Tracks is trained by Mick Carbone, driven by Mick Carbone. Exciter is trained by Keith Cochin, driven by Hayden Gray, and Louis Risk is trained by Kent Hartley, driven by Sailor Yule. As they're making their way, passing that bell now. Just getting tapped up a little bit in front, just still keeping the tempo pretty solid. I'm No Pumpkin, Costly Mistake still in behind that leader. Still about 2 metres behind it was Let's Make Tracks. Exciter still in behind that, 4 back to pegs. And last of all was Louis Risk. As they pass 800 metres now, heading down to Barron Park back straight for the final time. Approaching that 600 metres, and it's still I'm No Pumpkin. Costly Mistake still in behind that leader. Let's Make Tracks is pulling a little bit hard now. They're heading into the back straight. They're up on the tempo a little bit quicker now. And it's Exciter still in behind it. And Louis Risk is still back last of all. As they pass the 600 metres, heading out of the back straight now, right in that corner. Approaching the 400 metres. Making the moves now to back to pegs was Let's Make Tracks. Following it up on the 1-1 was Exciter. As they're up in the tempo a little bit quicker now. Let's Make Tracks is applying that pressure to the leader now. Has put his nose in front. As they pass the 400 metres. Let's Make Tracks. As they're making their way around in the Great Ocean Road Real Estate home turn. Heading in the front straight. Going out 3 wide was Exciter. Let's Make Tracks in front. I'm No Pumpkin's under a little bit pressure now. Costly Mistakes into third, and also with Louis Risk has gone off stride. As they're making the way into the front straight for the final time, is still got Let's Make Tracks. Exciter on the outside trying to put its nose in front. Let's Make Tracks and Exciter. Exciter on the outside trying to run home late on the out. Exciter and Let's Make Tracks. Let's Make Tracks still had its nose in front, and Let's Make Tracks still got it. Let's Make Tracks. Exciter into second, also a Costly Mistake. I'm No Pumpkin and Louis Risk back last of all after having a bit of a mix up around the corner.